What is up, you guys? It is KatiaBulks. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my garage. I know, weird place to start this video, but it's 6:30 in the morning and people are still asleep in my house, so I don't want to be too loud, at least for this intro. So hello, it's Katia. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. If you're returning, how you doing? So today we've got a full day of eating, but not just a regular full day of eating. We are doing a Greg Doucette inspired anabolic full day of eating. And why I'm calling it more so inspired is because some of the recipes that we're going to do today are going to be quite changed from what's in his cookbook, so to make them vegan. So just to show you that it's still possible to have high volume, low calorie dense foods on a vegan diet. So yeah, I mean, I was able to do a successful bodybuilding prep, being vegan, doing these kind of my own hacks, but I want to do more so the Greg Doucette way of things and do his recipes, because if y'all know, I love my morning oatmeal, in which I'll use like zucchini to volumize it, but in this case we're gonna start with a Greg Doucette classic. So let's go to the kitchen and get started. So hopefully you can hear me well, but when you think Greg Doucette breakfast, what do you think of? French toast, of course, the anabolic French toast. Now I have made a recipe of my own version of the anabolic French toast, because the thing about his is for the high protein content, he utilizes egg whites, and there's not really an egg white replacement that is super high in protein. The only like egg white replacement there is currently is aquafaba, which is the bean juice from a can of chickpeas, but it is like just so minimal when it comes to macros that you're not gonna just easily substitute it for that. So we're gonna follow my recipe, which I will put the card above, but I will also remake for you. And we're not gonna just use any regular white ass bread as he says to use. We're gonna be using this bread right here. It's called carbonate, and the macros are wildly amazing for one slice of bread. So for one slice, it's got 3.5 fat. I know that might be a little high in fat for some people, but just keep on listening. 9 carb and 7 protein. So by using like 2 to 3 slices, you're already getting like a ton of protein. 2 slices, 14 grams of protein. And so, of course, we're gonna use a protein powder because we're gonna make more of a slurry kind of dipping sauce, whatever you call it, that you put French toast in. And we're gonna be using the lean vegan protein frosted oatmeal. They were out of the snickerdoodle, so I'm gonna add a little extra cinnamon to it as well, and you'll also need like some vanilla extract. And to make it bind well to the bread, we are gonna use an egg replacer, which we're gonna use this stuff right here. About 2 tablespoons of that will be perfect. And then to make it a little extra anabolic, since we're already gonna have to use a plant milk, you can use almond milk, but I'm gonna be using Good Karma Plus protein, because 8 ounces of this comes with an extra 8 grams of protein. So I'm gonna start making this. I'll show you how I do it, and then we'll go over the macros in the end. But if you wanna follow the recipe step by step, like I said, go check out my other video of how to make this all together. I'd used a different bread at that time before I found out the carbonate, but yo, if you can find that, I found that at Sprouts. Get it, extra protein. Alright guys, so we've got the final product right here, and then I'm gonna just top it off with some Walden Farms blueberry syrup, but you can top it off however you want. Make a slurry with some PB2 powder, whatever you'd like to do. So let me read you the macros before I take a bite with y'all, because it's amazing. So for this whole meal right here, we've got 457 calories. We've got 45 carb, 15 fat, and 48 protein. And remember, that's a lot from just the bread. So I highly, highly recommend getting that bread if you want to make it extra anabolic. But if you're not like trying to hit that crazy amount of protein, which aren't you trying to make gains, then you can use any regular white ass bread. If you're not vegan, check out Greg's version of it, because the egg whites style of it, you know, helps mitigate using a protein powder, I guess, if you don't want to use that. And it just sounds so delicious as well. So otherwise, if you are vegan or you don't want to use all of your egg whites in a French toast, this is an awesome version. And what I love about it is you can use any flavor protein powder of your choice. You can mix it up. I've done it with some of the other Live Body protein powder. So if you want to give Live Body a try, feel free to use my coupon code as well, because it'll save you 20%. And boy, let me tell you, their protein powder in like a French toast version, because I've done this a few times, so good. Oh my gosh. So let me take a bite with y'all, and then I'm gonna enjoy my breakfast while I do like my devotional, because that's just like my morning thing. So perfect, steamy hot. That is so good. I love my morning oatmeal, but this is so good. 10 out of 10. So I love it. It's very much inspired by the doctor himself, but created almost with the inspiration using like kind of like a pancake batter, since we're using like a binding agent, if that makes sense, but different from a protein pancake recipe. Trust me on that. All right, I'm gonna enjoy this. All right, so I am hungry and all ready for the next meal. So I'm popping on the oven because we're gonna be making the anabolic pizza using the Joseph's Lavish bread. So very excited to do that one. There is like other recipes for like pastas and stuff in his cookbook, because I actually have bought it, but I just thought let's do the popular ones and just show you how to veganize them. So got my Lavish bread, heating up the oven so that I can like toast it a bit so the sauce doesn't make it too soggy. I had bought just some regular pizza sauce, and then we are going to top it with cheese, of course. Now, unfortunately, there's not really a vegan cheese out there that's like high in protein, because to make it as cheesy as possible, they tend to use some kind of fat base. So we're just using the Dia. Unfortunately, yeah, the macros doesn't have any protein, but we will make up for that by topping it with some vegan pepperonis. These are awesome. So for 10 slices, you get 0.5 fat, 3 carb, 7 protein. So we're going to do some of this, and I'm also going to throw on some beefy crumbles to add to the protein. And of course, the Lavish bread has protein in it of itself. So I'm going to toast that real quick, put a little spray oil on it, because that seemed to be the hack that Allie does, and I remember trying it versus just putting on the pizza sauce. Works way better. All right, so the bread is toasting up in the oven real quick, but also for additional toppings, I'm gonna put a few chopped up black olives and some cut up hearts a palm, because this stuff, hearts a palm, yo, super low carb. For like 130 grams, it's 8 carbs and 3 protein. So, and they're delicious. So I'm gonna chop those up and then throw it on the pizza, and then, well, you'll see how I put it all together. All right, so that's gonna be in the oven for about like 5 minutes. I am gonna keep a close eye on it just to make sure that like the outside crust doesn't get too burnt, because I've totally neglected it before and it's gotten burnt. So, ooh, so excited. All right, guys, so right here we've got the beautiful ANABOLIC pizza. And this baby right here is 346 calories, 44 carbs, 13 fat, and 25 protein. So you can always alter it however you want. You can opt out for like whatever vegetable, add in whatever vegetable you'd like, season it, you know. That's what I love about these recipes. But of course we're trying to go for that anabolic-ness, and thus we use, you know, the flatbread and then the pepperoni. Could opt for like some ground beefy crumbles. I mean, there's so many options. So bon appetit. Oh my gosh, nice, melty, warm. So good. I'm gonna eat all of this. I'll catch you for the next vegan anabolic Greg Doucette meal. Alright, so those 2 meals that I've had today have held me over. Holy crap, it's already like 2 o'clock. So it's time for something to eat, and I think it's time to make, you know, some famous protein ice cream. And from the looks of what I've seen Greg Doucette do, he does like ice with a mixture of fruit, so that's super voluminous. So voluminous is more for hair, isn't it, and people and stuff. Oh my gosh, my terminology. But anyways, so we're gonna do something of the sort with some banana, some ice. I'm gonna use some guar gum, get my protein powder out, and we're gonna make a delicious ice cream. So yeah, with no rules in the kitchen, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna throw into it. All right, so I hate to admit this, but versus the Ninja, we have a Vitamix, and I mean, my parents bought it years ago from Costco, and it's lasted us forever. So obviously I'm not gonna go out and buy like another blender, and this has worked great when I've made my own protein ice cream, so we're gonna go ahead and use it. Sorry, but anyways, to get started, frozen banana. Of course, you throw in as much as you like, just depending on your macros. That's a nice clump. Let's see. Now I'm gonna go and fill this up with ice, maybe almost like halfway up the container. All right, so now time for the mix-ins, the best part to make this delicious. We're gonna start with the protein powder. Again, Live Body. I only bought 1 flavor this time, I know, because I'm gonna be doing another protein powder review soon, so I don't want to buy 2 tubs with 2 different flavors. Then next we are going to add 1 teaspoon of guar gum. You can use xanthan gum, but technically guar gum is the way to go because it is more so used for cold recipes, where xanthan gum is better used in hot recipes. I made a video all about it. I'll put the card up above if you want to learn more about the differences. But xanthan gum still works. I'm gonna add a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. For some extra health, I'm gonna be adding half a teaspoon of spirulina. This stuff, if you just do like half a teaspoon, you're not gonna taste it, but you will see how it changes the color. And going with the recommendation of Greg Doucette, I am going to do some sugar or 0-calorie sweetener. Now to also add some more protein to it, we are going to be using the Good Karma flax milk, but you can use any plant-based milk of your choice. I like this. To me, it's like mild. There's no aftertaste. It's just tastes so good. So I did 1 cup of that, and I'm gonna add a little bit of water as well. And this is all of it, so I'm gonna go ahead and start blending it. All right, so here she is. Follows. Oh my gosh, yeah. So, I mean, it still passes the test. And yeah, I'm gonna pour that into a bowl and maybe put some Walden Farms on it and enjoy it. It smells and tastes so good. I mean, it looks a little funky with this light green color, but oh my gosh, I promise you, it's on point. All right, so this wonderful bowl right here has got 324 calories. It is made up of 43 grams of carbs, 5 fat, and 30 protein. Of course, you can just add an extra scoop of protein powder in there if you're trying to get your protein up, but boy, it's so awesome. You have to make it. Using frozen banana, it's like just such a level of creaminess I can't even describe. I mean, it's near to ice cream. Alright guys, so I didn't feel like it would be appropriate to end the video after just 3 recipes, even though those 3 recipes filled me up so well, kept me so well satiated that I barely had to snack throughout the day. So it's a different day, but we're gonna do one more Greg Doucette inspired recipe. So we are going to do one of his lavish wraps, and I'm gonna show you what I decided to put in it to make it anabolic and vegan, of course. Okay, so for the flatbread, I'm going to make today, well, not flatbread, but wrap. Of course, we've got the Joseph's lavish flatbreads. I've got some spring mix to add a lot of volume. And then for another protein source, I'm going to be using the Gardein beefless grounds. And then just for like condiments to add to it, I'm going to be adding some whiskey dill sauerkraut. This stuff is really delicious, and it is just 2 carbs, 10 calories for 1 ounce serving, which is 28 grams, which is a fair serving. And then we're going to be adding some spicy brown mustard as well onto the flatbread, and maybe a little hot sauce. I don't know what else, but yeah, I'm gonna get this going and then I'll show you the final product. I also just want to throw in a really quick tip. If you do enjoy the Joseph's lavish bread, I noticed that the macros always do vary among them, so I do weigh them out, and as you see, this one is 83 grams. And 1 serving is 32 grams, meaning like a whole lavish bread would be 64. So obviously by calculating that out, it almost comes to 2.5 servings versus just the 1 serving of 32 grams. So weigh it out because it will make a difference in your macros. All right, oh my gosh, here's the final product. So stuffed. So we're gonna go ahead, sit at a countertop and enjoy. All right, so we have got this ginormous wrap in front of me. So I'm gonna figure out how the heck, I can't even remember like in the video how he ended up like wrapping it up, but oh my gosh. I think something like this will work, like close off the bottom. See, this is why the veggies are the biggest part of it. Oh my gosh. Okay, we've got something going. It's starting to break a little bit, but that's wild. That is so good. And only 238 calories. I think it's got about definitely more than 30 grams of protein because of the lavish bread and the garden or the Gardein beefless grounds. So a lot lower in carbs and fats for sure. All right, I want to enjoy this and then we'll wrap it up. All right, guys, so to wrap up this like full day of eating plus one extra recipe that is a Greg Doucette inspired video. I hope you enjoyed these recipes, seeing that it's easy to follow the recommendation of Greg Doucette when dieting in regards to having like high volume, high protein, low calorie dense foods. Like it is easily possible to do so on a vegan diet, and I mean it's a very worthy purchase if you want to go and buy the anabolic cookbook. I'm actually like planning on making my own kind of anabolic recipes as well, using them as like people like Greg Doucette. There's a few other people out there, the Iron Musket, you know, as inspiration for sure. So if anything is based off of their recipes, I'll definitely like give them that shout out. Otherwise, I'm trying to come up with my own unique recipes. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Comment below what kind of anabolic recipes you'd like me to veganize, what else you'd like to see next. Otherwise, next we do have a protein powder review, so stay tuned for that. Click that notification bell, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.